She is a comedy writer for stars like Chelsea Handler, but she's also a stand-up comedian and a major Bravo-holic. Heather McDonald joins us live with some juicy scoop about the Housewives and here to tell us what she's been up to lately. Heather!
Yes. Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Well, you look beautiful, and before we get started, I just wanted to say, although we are excited for some juicy scoops, definitely, I really wanted you to share with us, if you could, about that scary hotel experience, and it really inspired you to warn other women traveling alone, which I really thank you for. Can you tell us just what happened real quick?
Yeah, so I was at a hotel on the road, and it was the afternoon, and my producer, who's a young female, she had just left the room. So normally I always double lock the door, but it was in the afternoon and she had just left. And a couple minutes later, there was like a knock on the door. And before I opened it, I was like, yes. And it was a man, and he said, oh, I have to come in and fix something. And I'm like, no, I never ordered anything. And then it was like, he's like, no, I have stuff to drop off for housekeeping. And I'm like, no, I don't need anything. I just checked in like an hour ago. And so then I looked, and I could see that he walked away, and he didn't have a housekeeping card, and he was wearing regular clothes. So then I called downstairs, and I told them what the situation was, and they never called me back to say, oh, that was Raul, and he got the wrong door, And so then I thought about it. I'm like, I'm just going to tell this story right now on TikTok right now to warn people not to open the door, to tell them to leave things by the door if they need it, if you're alone. And the response I got, it went viral, but what women do on the road, they had people say, I leave the TV on, I say, goodbye, honey. I pretend that I'm traveling with a man. This was one of those hotels that didn't have the key. You didn't need a key to go upstairs. We'd also come in and eaten at the restaurant like at 2 in the afternoon. So it was just very, very strange. And it's the amount of stories like that out there. So you just have to be really extra careful, especially if you're a female traveling alone.
Thank you for sharing that story.
That's scary.
I heard about it on my own. Yeah.
So Heather, let's get to your podcast, Juicy Scoop. It launched 7 years ago. So what's so juicy about your podcast, Juicy Scoop?
You want to say it again?
Juicy Scoop. It was a term I used for a long time, and I've always loved pop culture, but I also really like to go deep into whatever I think is juicy, whether it's a crime, something that's happening in the reality world of TV, celebrities, and then go deeper and be like, what was the layers to this? How does it relate to just someone at home listening to the normal life, that their relationship could even have elements that are similar to a Harry and Meghan, with a half sister, or not inviting someone to the wedding. So I always feel like you can take anything that's juicy in the headlines and kind of go deeper. And that's why I think people love the podcast.
Well, I've listened to Juicy Scoop. I'm actually subscribed to Juicy Scoop.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Because I love how you just say it and you don't hold like any punches. And sometimes I'll be like, what she just say? And I'll listen again. But let's talk about, because you went on a girls trip, you went on a girls trip, if you went on a girls trip, Lord, which 2 housewives would you pick to join you, and where would you go?
Ooh, that's good.
Well, I'll always pick someplace warm over like a skiing situation, because nothing better than just like walking in Mexico. And I like a beautiful resort, and I was thinking about it, and definitely Kathy Hilton, because I've only met her a couple times, and I really feel like we don't know enough about her. But I think on a girls trip, a few days with me, I would get the real juicy scoop about her life, her childhood, Kyle, her sister, Paris, everything. Did she do the lipstick thing on purpose to draw attention from Mariska? Like, what is the scoop there? And then I definitely would take Garcelle, because Garcelle and Kathy get along. I've worked with Garcelle, and I just think she's so laid back and chill, and she does say it like it is. And I just like her expressions, and you just know what she's thinking when she's just like, annoyed with people. So those 2, I think, would be a really fun time.
I hope cameras would follow you. That would be juicy.
That would be.
I would want to see everything. I would want to be a fly on the wall. But I have to get your opinion. We have a minute left. What do you make of the New York cast being canceled and replaced?
I was not happy about it. I thought we were going to have both of them. So hopefully the legacy will come back. But I guess Ramona said that she's definitely not coming back. And the only reason I'm sad about that is because Ramona is my easiest character to do, do an impersonation. Well, if she was here, she'd be like, you know what? I'm really glad you asked me about that. Okay, because it's really upsetting. I was one of the first housewives. I support women. A lot of people doesn't. You know, Bethany doesn't support women. A lot of people don't support women. I've always been there. I'm always ready to have some good time with some hot guys. So I'm sad about Ramona.
That was so good. Nailed it. Heather, I want Tori to quickly do her Jennifer Coolidge for you.
Hi there, Heather.
Well, I love Jennifer. I know her personally. I just talked to her on the phone on Saturday.
Don't mention this, please. Don't mention
Yes. And I was like, and she's like, and she's a juicy scooper, and she's like, you know what, Heather, you just tell it like it is. You don't care.
Say it.
You know? Just say it. Yeah.
Oh
and
my
I
God.
go, how do you feel that you're an icon now? And she goes, I mean, what does that even mean?
She is.
You know, it's like, so I love it. I love that. I love that she's nominated and everything.
Amen.
So, lots of good things for her. But
Absolutely.
I did know that they were
Heather,
going to kill her.
we gotta go. We have a heart out.
Goodbye.
Thank you for joining
Goodbye.
us. DBL Nation, subscribe to Juicy Scoop.